impeachment to go ahead.
Here's a summary of the article.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the House of Representatives will file impeachment charges against U.S. President Donald Trump for alleged abuse of power. Mr. Trump told Democrats to move quickly if they were going to impeach him. Democrats are keen to hold a vote on impeachment in the House of Representatives before the end of the year, with the prospect of a trial in the Senate perhaps as early as January 2020. Earlier on Thursday, senior Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway told reporters, "We're ready for a trial." On Wednesday, Mrs. Pelosi held a behind-closed-doors meeting on impeachment with her fellow Democrats and asked them, "Are you ready?" The Judiciary Committee is hearing from witnesses and is tasked with writing the articles of impeachment that the full House will later vote on. Among formal impeachment charges expected to be considered by the Judiciary Committee are abuse of power, obstruction of justice and contempt of Congress.
This post received a score of 70,721, with an upvote ratio of 82%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
For non-Americans, impeachment means almost exactly the same thing as indicted. The actual trial would then be held in the Senate, not the Democrat-controlled House of Representatives. If the Republican-controlled Senate does not vote to convict, nothing definitive happens at this time and Trump remains in office through the election. My understanding as a non-American is it's almost certain the Senate won't convict, which leads me to ask, what's the point? Will the USA benefit from this whole spectacle, or will the Trump administration just plow on with a petulant middle finger to the world?
The point really is that not impeaching him is tantamount to approving or normalizing his actions. If the Senate will not convict, we need them all to hear the evidence and put their name down as okay with that behavior. Edit, there is long and numerous points of conversation within that idea. How a president can basically do whatever they want if they can manage to keep enough sycophants in the Senate doesn't even have to be a majority, as removal requires more than that.
Yeah, having the Senate votes on the record is very important. There are a few states with Republican senators where Trump is generally unpopular. If they go on record as voting no to convict him in the face of overwhelming evidence, that'll give their next challenger material to hammer into the minds of voters. The House has already shown where they stand. Every single Republican representative voted no to even begin an inquiry into impeachment.
You guys can call your politicians to tell them what you think? Like, literally have a phone conversation? Sorry if it's a stupid question. I'm just curious.
Usually you leave a message on voicemail. It would be nice if you really could talk to them. While I'm sure it happens sometimes, more often than not you leave a voicemail and they just ignore you because they care more about party before people, so they just brush you off.
And in some districts, leaving a message on their voicemail is responded to by the representative calling Capitol Police on your entire district. Sorry, used to live in NY21.
Can I have more info on what you're talking about? Sounds interesting to say the least.
The voting demographic in the district can be broken down into the following groups: Fort Drum community, soldiers, soldier families, and people who benefit from them economically. These are people who saw what brack. This is kind of inevitable. Rich people, there's a non-insignificant portion of the voter base that are people who simply claim primary residence up there using a vacation home that they visit maybe 2 weeks out of the year. It's a muddled mix of environmentalists, people who seem to think that upstate NY was part of the Confederacy, and apathetic folks who just want to get along with their lives. The area votes red, but that's probably got to do a lot with apathy, Fort Drum, and the fact that a lot of people have to work on election day well away from their polling places.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.